Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is figure out which side's closest to you and exit out that side and start doing your initial sweep. I noticed here that there's 3 pools of water, which means I can get all the fish I'm going to need for the entire trip. Okay, you just keep sweeping around until you find the next resource you need. Once you collect the resource, you're good to go ahead and drop whatever tool you need to collect it, as you won't need it anymore. It'll also clear up some more space for extra food that you may get as drops from the rats. So right here I'm taking off my scepter because it's going to be better DPS to take it off at that low HP. Gonna make sure I grab all the extra fish I get. If you get the extra fish, that's great. It's just more safety. You don't need to leave them on the ground because you're worried about wasting time. It's pretty fast to collect them that way. There, I made 1 extra dusted crystal shard. That was a mistake. It's not really a big deal though. Okay, and here I'm missing 2 resources. I'm missing the cotton and the ore. So what I do is I drop a couple paddlefish so I can clear space for it. Then I go and craft my bow and my vials because those are the important parts here. And I make sure I hang on to my pickaxe because I'm going to need to collect that cotton and that ore on the way to get the tier 3 weapons. Right now I'm making good use of my time of just running around by making potions as I do so. And as I kill this boss, I'm going to make sure I check the rooms adjacent to it because I have some downtime where I'm not really doing anything. And there's my ore, so I'm going to be ready to mine that ore as soon as I kill this. And since I didn't find 2 bosses on this outer ring, I'm going to get this ore, and then I'm going to zigzag my way to the other boss areas as soon as possible. If you're wondering why I do this instead of going and getting everything at once, like if I opened up the kill and then, or opened up the trip and then immediately went out and tried to get all of my ore and cotton and bark, I might have gotten unlucky and not have found it, and I'd also be taking multiple trips back to the crafting area. It's just inefficient. You lose a lot of time by doing stuff like that. Okay, and since I have the bear and the dragon, I'm gonna have to get both weapon frames. Otherwise, I won't be able to craft both tier 3 weapons, as I already have a bow. If I found the dark beast, then I'd be able to have a bow, and I'd be able to have. Well, I already have the bow, so I wouldn't need the weapon frame. Right here, I noticed that I don't have enough crystal shards to make all of the armor and both of the weapons I need. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and kill the dark beast over there, both because I prefer the bow over the halberd because it's way easier to DPS with, since you can have range while dodging tornadoes, and also because it's gonna drop a decent amount of crystal shards. If the dark beast wasn't there, I would have just looked for like a med level monster. I noticed there was one by the spawn, so I probably would have just teleported back and killed that, and then just made do with the halberd and the staff. Okay. So now I'm gonna craft everything, make sure I cook my fish. I've forgotten to cook my fish more times than I'd like to admit. You could also use the number keys on your keyboard if you really want to make these things fast. Though I don't really do that because I don't really remember which one's which. So definitely check while you're cooking what prayer the Hunliff has up so you know what weapon to start with so you don't fumble that and lose a couple seconds on your way to the Hunliff. He always starts out with range, so protect from range and put on whatever offensive prayer, then just start hitting him. It's really important that during the early part of the fight you absolutely maximize your DPS because it's going to be a lot harder to maximize your DPS while you're on phase 3 and even a little bit on phase 2. By maximize DPS, I mean make sure that you're attacking every 4 ticks. If I remember correctly, I kind of muck up the first part of the fight. I don't remember what I do. I think I might have attacked off prayer a couple times or on prayer. Maybe not. Maybe that was another kill. Right there, I got pretty close to the tornadoes, but after doing this so many times, you kind of just understand like where the tornadoes actually are. They're a little bit farther back than they look. So right there, I knew I didn't have to move immediately. It's also really important that you stay towards the middle of the room as best you can. The tornadoes always spawn in the corners of the room, so the closer you are to the middle, the more likely it is that the tornadoes will spawn farther away from you, and that means that you're going to be able to get more DPS out because you're going to have to move less. I do emphasize DPSing a lot, but if you think you're going to die, just don't do something stupid. Just make sure you stay alive. Right there, I just tick 8 the I think mage attack, and that reduces max hit to 3, which means that when I heal, I'm going to be healing for a lot more because he's not going to be hitting like a 13 on me while I'm trying to eat. I made sure I had augury on there, even though I had the staff out and it was already on. Just double checking. Remember, having augury on gives you another 25% magic defense bonus on top of the flat defense bonus. Right there, I misclicked my food, but it doesn't really matter. I made a lot of mistakes. You can make a lot of mistakes and still get the kill with just 12 food. A lot of the times when you don't get the kill if you have 12 food, it's literally because you got really bad RNG or you just played badly, like really badly. So like right there, I was towards the middle of the room, so I had enough time to get another attack in there before moving away from the tornadoes. And right there is another moment where I probably could have weaved an attack in, but it looked a little bit risky, so I just decided not to. Only missed one tick for it. It's also important that when you get towards the end of the kill, you don't start spam eating food because odds are you're probably not going to need that much HP. If you're new, I definitely wouldn't recommend doing that because it's pretty likely you just get clapped by the tornadoes. When you're learning, you should definitely be safing to full in phase 3 as much as possible because if you get hit with the tornadoes at full HP, you can live it. But when you're experienced, it's much better just to do your best to DPS and just avoid the damage. Yeah, that was a pretty clean kill. That was a little bit above average in terms of time.